that you said that at this juncture of the investigations, you agree with the advice of the police leader that the evidence is 10 years
Yes, sir.
to institute criminal charges.
Yes, sir.
That's all I mean. I don't know.
Mr. Ram?
No, sir.
Let me just clarify a few. Again, you have to perhaps bear with me because I come from the era of the dinosaurs. And when we talk about factors to be considered in granting of bail, they taught me, and Mr. Chan, you taught me that one that you mentioned is not the only and most serious one. There are also issues like whether the person will interfere with the
witnesses.
investigation.
Yes.
Which is many cases for us police when we do the investigation, one of the more serious ones. So even though
There are many factors.
well, there are many factors. I just want to make that many factors. The nature of the offense, whether the person is a flight risk, whether the person if put on bail will interfere with the investigation or the witness. That's three, remember.
I think all those are relevant to flight risk, the main one. All the factors are relevant to the main consideration.
Well, not if he's going to interfere with the, he can very well not go to flight.
That too is relevant.
Okay, very relevant.
Yeah.
Because in many cases, you might make a determination that, look, if this man is set on bail, he's going to go and tamper with witness, tamper with evidence, and
that is good.
right. So I just want to get that straight. Now, Mr. Blanhum, you said that you know even though the commissioners are late, you and the acting commissioner would seek guidance to take advice from the commissioner.
That is correct.
How do you know that Mr. Ramnarayan would do that?
Because in the presence of Mr. Ramnarayan, in my presence, Mr. Ramnarayan would have contacted the Commissioner of Police and would have told me that he contacted the Commissioner of Police on the way forward on certain matters.
There's a Stephen Passad, you mentioned that Stephen Passad on the night of the 29th gave a statement to the police.
Yes, sir.
In relation to what?
That it had to do, I can't remember vividly, but it had to do with Stephen Passad, I think, was his landlord at one point in time, and they had a whole host of problems between the two of them. And because of the fact that he was asked to remove from the premises, Gillard was of the belief that Khan would have caused him to do that. So there was a lot of escalating ferocity between both Stephen Passad and Gillard.
Well, the investigating run, if I recall correct, I'm subject here to refer to the records. Pitango specifically stated when asked that Stephen Passad went there in an unrelated matter, something to do with tires.
He said so.
He said so.
He said that
It's a matter unrelated to this investigation. That is, am I correct, Mr. Chan?
But I don't know whether he's correct because when you look at it in the statement.
Who statement?
Gillard's
statement.
Gillard's statement.
Yeah.
He mentioned that Khan was the cause of all his problems in relation to Stephen thing.
I think I saw that. What I'm saying, based on what the crime chief is now saying, that the investigating run said that on the night when this investigation was being done, mentioned two persons, not only Passad, not only Stephen, and some other person went there to give statement in a matter unrelated to this investigation.
Yeah.
That is what.
But if the Passad, on Gillard's own statement, which I think I read, I think he remembered. He said, "Khan, in fact, accused guys say use the mommy and back in the
back right.
Yeah.
Probably get the criminalities out there.
Yeah.
All right.
So on his issue of relevance, it might not be directly, but indirectly.
Now, Mr. You mentioned something about radio set and some can went there, and you reported that some can removed the radio set. Which one of the cans he was referring to?
He was referring to Nizam Khan, if I'm correct.
Not according to the records and the report that you submitted. The records and the evidence before this commission clearly stated that he was referring to Imran Khan.
Nizam.
Nizam? Well,
Very Nizam.
Nizam? All right, my bad. Now, I think mention was made of the time when this offenses as well, the June the 25th, June 2015, June 2015, to whenever it was made. Just one simple question. Is there a statute of limitation on this matter?
Not to my knowledge.
There's not a statute of limitation. Just wanted to find it out.
Sir, I can tell you that in relation to indictable offenses, no limitation.
Well, I know. And in relation to, as we know from policing, even if it's not indicted, no one is hybrid.
Hybrid is.
Indictable and summary.
You remember, well, I don't want to get into it. You remember the party case, sir? A party in the WPM?
Yeah, Kwame Apata.
Yeah. But you know they had the Court of Appeal has given a decision that a hybrid offense is indictable offense only. They had to put the legislation in 1980 criminal law
Change it.
to put the law back on track.
Thanks for that. I just wanted to find out. So in other words, we're saying that even if evidence in relation to this come to fore next year or whatever, charges can still be brought.
Yeah.
Right, so I just wanted to get that straight. Mr. Blanham, I don't think I have any other question to ask.
So may I ask one question, this what 10 years. When you understand, when you said you agree the legal advisor, the evidence is 10 years, what you mean by
It's flimsy. It has no bearing. That's my interpretation of 10 years.
Well, Mr. Chan.
All right, I just want to explain.
No, you said flimsy. I would think that 10 years can be synonymous with flimsy, but not no bearing. I'm accepting that 10 years means no bearing.
But you are, well,
He's saying no bearing.
Let's forget the
But
word.
it cannot be no bearing.
Would you say, what will you view, what, at this juncture, how would you view the allegation made by Gillard?
I would say, with the greatest amount of respect, it is my humble opinion that the allegation made by Gillard against Khan is inherently incredible.
Well, Mr. Chan, based on what you said, what came before this commission, 5 days after the allegation was made, that was already determined that it was malicious.
Yes, well.
So I'm not sure that anything would have happened between then and now to change that opinion. 5 days after, on the 3rd of April, it was concluded by the investigating rank.
You see when you like them long statements, it's revealed a lot of things.
That's what I'm saying. 5 days after, it was concluded, and more than that, a conclusion was drawn that it was malicious, even though later on we go on to say that the investigation should continue. We already conclude that it's malicious, but we determined to continue the investigation.
You see, it's used the word inherently, but when you look at the man's evidence, without more his own story.
Can understand? I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from. I know where we're coming from.
His own story, when you look at it rationally.
But I just want to make the point for emphasis that 5 days after this report was made, a conclusion was drawn that the report was malicious. Thank you very much, Mr. Blanham. You're excused.
Thank you, sir.
You got what?
Mr. Chan, you could go on. We could go on with the next one.
You want? No problem.
You want a break, Mr. Ram?
I would like to take a smoke.
We'd like some refreshment.
All right. Now it's 3:23. We're gonna come back with a 3:45.
Yes.
3:45. I'm going until 3:45.
All right.